this is so common, right? Being embarrassed. I mean, we're always embarrassed day to day, every day. But why is it so much worse when we do something embarrassing at work?
Yes, well, we've all been in embarrassing situations that we just don't know how to escape. I know I have a whole collection of my own experiences just shelved away in my brain.
Yeah.
So, but an embarrassing situation that happens at work just feels so much worse and has very different consequences than if that same situation would occur most anywhere else. And the reason is because at work, we're expected to act in a professional manner, and when we don't, it's reflected poorly on us. So let's face it, like the workplace is a stuffy place, or it can be a stuffy place, and there's rules around everything that we do. So even just the way you eat lunch around your coworkers, you could be starving and you want to gobble your food and just gulp your drink down, and you end up just sipping it, and so you get in that type of any type of situation is just exaggerated, just because you are in the work environment.
So you almost want to have an image, don't you? I mean, like you are who you are every day, but when you arrive at work, you have a certain image that you want to be, right? You want to be more professional, or you want to be this, or you want to be that. I have an image. I'm not really quite sure. I haven't clarified what it is yet. I don't think it's professional. But is that why you put so much effort into this image that you have out there, and if it goes down, you feel like devastated?
Yeah, exactly, and because you work so hard to cultivate a certain image, and so you're naturally going to have this fear of being put in a situation that could potentially ruin this image that you've worked so hard to build.
Oh, yeah, it could ruin it. I mean, could a situation potentially get you fired, do you think? I mean, how bad can a situation be? How harsh can this be?
Yeah, well, in fact, yes, certain situations, and there's a number of blunders that I know of specifically where people have lost their jobs.
Really? I want to hear one. I know. I usually. But I think stealing from somebody's purse? I've never done that. No, but it has to be really serious, but it can be...
yeah, for sure. I mean, even a conversation that you have with someone about your boss that's very negative, for example, and he happens to overhear, something like that may occur, then that could be potentially a very dangerous situation, or a situation that could put your job on the line.
There's all kinds of different levels, right? So let's go through a couple of scenarios. We've got a few scenarios for you.
Okay.
So the first one, I think, is probably... set it up. Okay, so it's something that I don't think is too harmful, right? So this is like you're having a meeting, and you're standing up, and your zipper's down, and you bend down, and like I said, you're doing the whole meeting with your zipper down. I just put my zipper down. I don't know why, but I did. It's just that kind of day. So your zipper's down, and you do a whole meeting, or you bend down, and you go, oh, what happens? What do you do? Right? You've done something that everybody can see, or there's a little something sitting under your nose, and you don't know it, and you did a whole hour meeting. What do you do? Do you mention it, or do you just pretend it didn't? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you do?
Well, those are examples of what I would call minor slip-ups. So, and it's all those examples that you just gave right now, or even the example of the skirt being tucked in your, you walk around, it's quite embarrassing. But you didn't hurt.
I think anybody can respect you after that, walking around for an hour with your skirt tucked in at work. I think that's it for your career. You're going to move on.
And I call them minor because you didn't hurt anyone's feelings, and it's not really a reflection of your character in any way. So they're really nothing to fret about. At the moment, it may feel like it's the end of the world, but they're really not the end of the world.
Should you draw attention to it? Do you ignore it? Because if it's Christopher, he'd be like, you just farted. You would do that. I totally would. I totally would. I can't believe you just said farted on TV. Wow, you're embarrassing. You're just embarrassing now. Wow. Welcome to the show, darling. This is what I really If you ignore it, like, what do you do?
Well, there's one or two approaches you could take. You certainly can ignore it and pretend it never happened. In the case of farting, for example.
Thank you for saying it. Can everyone in the audience please say farting? Just to make us feel better. Okay, everybody, 1, 2, 3. Farting! Thank you. Now it's all out. We can get more embarrassed than that.
If it wasn't very obvious, you may just want to pretend it never happened, and nobody will care, I'm sure, if you do that. Another approach could be just to use humor, just like you did in this case, and it depends on the work environment. So humor is a great way to diffuse the situation, and it also could make you look good too. If you can come up with a really good joke, or especially if it's a really good self-deprecating joke, people like that. So you can come up looking good.
I had a burrito for lunch. Exactly. But situation number 2. Okay, so you write an email to a friend, right, complaining about your lazy and underqualified boss. Okay, and just after you click send, you realize that everyone was copied on the email.
Okay.
Wow. You crawl into
Is that a pink slip in
in the making right there?
It could be. That's not a good situation. I definitely would not want to be in this person's shoes. No. He may want to polish up his resume for sure. But this situation is, well, first of all, let's start with the obvious. You should never criticize your boss at work, especially in an email from work. I think we often forget that emails are permanent records. They are easily archived. They are archived that, many corporations archive them. A lot of people don't know that. They're easily circulated. And I like to say, like a diamond, they are forever. And people forget that, that happens. So I guess this situation really calls for swift action. The first thing that I would do, or first practical step I would take, is to call your IT department. See if there's any way that they can recall the message. There might be a small hope.
If you can't recall it,
then unfortunately for you, you're on your way to the boss's office.
To grovel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do absolutely anything you can possibly do.
Exactly. You need to just provide a sincere, heartfelt, meaningful apology and honest. You in that situation, if they did overhear your conversation, you do need to approach the person and provide a sincere apology and talk it over, because it's someone you're working with. In that situation, it could even potentially be your boss. Maybe this person's probably also feeling embarrassed, but they're also probably hurt as well, and maybe angry with you. So you need to figure it out. You've got yourself in the hot water now. You just need to take the high road and deal with the situation.
I think that's probably the most important thing. You're at work. Be professional.
You
don't gossip.
Mouth it and just keep it quiet, right? That's the best advice of all.
Absolutely.
Well, Virginia, thank you so much for being here. This is great information. Thank you.